Hello friends and welcome to the channel of Second Chances, where unwanted and discarded materials are rescued from an untimely demise, given new purpose and another shot to shine and bedazzle. This is the Cheapskate Scotsman Show, and I'm the Cheapskate Scotsman. Right now, before I show you how I replace this with this, just by using this and this, let me just say this. You're a pallet.
What did you call me?
No. Euro pallet.
That's what I thought.
Oh, away you go and boil your head. I'm talking about a pallet that's made in Europe by the European Pallet Company, aka E-Pal. And I'm going to tell you why E-Pal is my wee pal. E-Pal runs their slats up and down the way like that, no across the way like that. Which means that all the slats, or planks, or boards, or whatever you want to call them, they're all about 4 feet. Look at that, they're 47 inches. So that's a good length. And every Euro pallet has 8 planks on it. You get 4 wide ones and 4 skinny ones like that. And they're all about an inch thick. And that's what you get when you collect E-Pal pallets. They're all exactly the same, so they allow you to achieve some uniformity in your projects. Oh, uniformity, that's a big word.
I'm smart and I want respect!
And now it's time for the breakup scene.
Wait a minute, we're not really breaking up, are we? Come on.
I am afraid so, love. See, if we don't break up these pallets, they'll no be able to begin the next chapter of their story. You see, sometime, to make it to the next level of our journey, we've got to face some difficult changes. They may be big changes that can be very hard to accept or embrace. But it's my firm belief that if you make and embrace positive changes to improve your lot in life, that new opportunities will just pop up everywhere. And there you have it, Roger Rabbit. Just repeat that process again and again and again, and we're on our way. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Alright, well here I'm just taking off about 3/4 of an inch off each end of each slat, just to get a nice straight edge on every slat. Then I held an emergency board meeting, and I told them board members they better clean up their act, and I blasted them with my water cannon, but I still couldn't get rid of those unsightly tan lines. So I broke out the belt. That's right. Sorry, Mr. Plank, but trust me, this hurts me more than it hurts you. And I didn't go too crazy with the sanding, just enough to get rid of those lines. Then I mixed a batch of Poorman's wood stain. It's an ancient recipe, 1 part diesel fuel, 2 parts used motor oil, and I slapped it on there. Right then, this is all my salvaged lumber. We've got 2 2x10s, which I'll deal with later, and we've got 7 2x4s, and I've got a bunch of these 1x4s. These were big long pallets with air conditioning equipment on them. Everything there is 8 foot at least. Hey you, Eagle, you're coming with me. Mrs. Cheapskate's gonna paint you up real smart. She gave that Eagle a cracking wee paint job a few years ago, but the elements have just battered it. So she said she'll paint it again for me. Aye, Mrs. Cheapskate. She's a great help, so she is. I couldn't do any of my projects without her.
I love him and I don't care who knows
knows it.
Right enough, that's nae kidding. And she's my cameraman too, by the way. And here's the old fence, look at that, it's just crumbling away. Cheery bye, old fence. You've been good to me and my family. You've given us privacy. You've deterred trespassers. And you've kept my daft dog from running amok. Thank you. Alright, let's get them stringers up. Just the bottom and the middle stringers for now. And we'll start getting these slats up as well. Luckily for me, I've got a wee pal across the road and we lend each other stuff. So he lent me his nail gun and it was great. Unluckily, however, I'd no nails in my inventory. So I had to go to the Home Depot and it cost me $30 for a box of nails. Oh well, let's go ahead and break out the vinyl. And you see these things here? I discovered these in a swampy, remote area in Fairfield, New Jersey. Seems to me some headbanger ripped them away from their home and dumped them, illegally dumped them, in this dark, desolate place. Aye, things weren't looking too good for that discarded pile of vinyl. It appeared as if their story was coming to a tragic end.
We're dead! We're dead!
Then one day, the cheapskate Scotsman came barreling through their gloomy, miserable neck of the woods, and he looked down on a pitiful, pathetic pile of vinyl half stuck in the mud that nobody wanted or cared about. To them, it was just an eyesore, pollution, an ugly pile of rubbish. After all, it's filthy, it's used, it's weather-beaten, it's past its prime. It's no good to nobody, right? No, that's not right. The cheapskate Scotsman, he saw value there. He saw potential. So the decision was made, right then and there, that wee pathetic boggin pile of vinyl will be rescued by the cheapskate Scotsman. And it will be given new purpose and another shot to shine and bedazzle. Unfortunately though, they're no the colour I was looking for, so...
Come on, set them down. I want them all lined up here, just like a pretty little chorus line.
So, line them up I did, and I got them prepared for the next stage of their transformation, the paint stage. Sorry about that, lads, but it's for your own good. Right, so here's those 2x10s that I was talking about before. They need to be ripped down into 2x4s and 2x2s. And then I had to get busy channeling.
Do y'all mind hanging back? You're jamming my frequencies.
See, we've got to cut these channels in this lumber. Long ways down one end, down the middle, about an inch deep. We're going to need these channels. That's what we're going to be tucking the wee vinyl strips into. And here's where the top stringers come in. They need to be channeled as well, because they're going to be a part of the vinyl mesh panels that we'll be putting together. Then, when we're done with the task of cutting all the channels, we've got to take these pieces and assemble a big rectangular picture frame with all the channels facing inward. I used corner brackets at the top, 2.5 inch screws at the bottom, and I made sure to keep those brackets set back a wee bit away from the channels so the screws, when they go in there, won't interfere with the vinyl strips when we're tucking them in there. And here's me putting the gate together. It's just a big box really, with a 2x4 down the middle, channels on one end but no the other. And after all that hard work of getting these vinyl strips down to this size, we finally get to put them in, cutting the 45-degree angles and tucking them into the channels nice and cozy. It is important though that we don't tuck them in too tight. We want to leave a wee bit of room for expansion. And away we go. Alright, let's cut some corners.
You're going to be smart. You are going to cut corners, and you are going to win.
No, I'm just talking about the corners on these wee 10-inch pieces of plank that I cut. I cut loads of them, and I've got to make a wee decorative edge because these are going to be going along the top of the fence. And when I put them up, I made sure that the pattern stayed the same on the top as it is on the bottom. Then I broke out my 1x4s, gave them a quick coat of Poorman's wood stain, and I cut the corners off of them and all. And I used them to build frames around the vinyl panels like they were gorgeous works of art. Because to me, that's what they are. You see, those pallets and that vinyl, they were made for a very specific function. The pallets carried loads of cargo across the Atlantic, and the vinyl protected and beautified somebody's house. They done exactly what they were built to do. Their missions were accomplished. Then they were dumped. But the story doesn't end there, does it? Because it turns out that their missions weren't accomplished. And their real, ultimate objective hadn't been carried out yet. You see, this right here was their true destiny all along. And though it may be true that I rescued these materials and I gave them new purpose and another shot to shine, it's also true that they kind of done that for me as well. Thank you for watching my video and being my pal. Oh! Out! Watch where you're going, you big dodo!